Good afternoon, everyone. Once more,
Good
thank you
afternoon.
for joining me on this, I would want to say cool afternoon. I'm not really sure how the weather is outside, but it's cool in the morning. So we will be picking up from where we left yesterday. And before I do that though, is there any question you have for me regarding yesterday's content or any clarification that you want to seek? Please do let me know before I proceed. Miss Olga, I think you're the one who asked me about closing apps on an iPhone, correct? That's what I have here.
Hello, Miss Delcy. Actually, I think she did, and I'm also.
Yes, I did. Right.
Yeah, I'm also interested in that.
Okay, so I found a clip here that I want to share with you, all iPhone users, in the event you don't know how to close the apps. Let me share this short clip with you guys. Okay. So let me play the video here. Just make sure that the audio is at an appropriate level for you guys. Okay.
So take your iPhone 12, swipe up from the very bottom to the center of the screen.
And then let go.
Let go. Swipe the apps up and off the top of the screen.
Common mistakes
Ta-da.
people make. They don't start at the bottom enough. Enough at the bottom. Right. So you really have to come up almost from underneath the screen with your thumb and then hold your thumb there in the middle. If you don't have any apps open, that's what'll happen. You'll see this little blur
I was
thing.
like, I did something wrong, but no, it's just
Nope,
no apps are open.
You closed your apps correctly. This is also the app switcher. Of course, you can slide back and forth, but
Yep.
that's how to do it.
Why should people be closing apps?
Okay, so this was, again, like I said, it's a short video clip, but let me just bring it back to where it shows you how to close your app. Basically, what they're sharing is you need to scroll on your screen from the bottom up, all the way from the bottom up.
Enough at the bottom. Right. So you really have to come up almost from underneath the right. So you really have to come up. You don't start at the bottom enough. Enough at the bottom.
Sorry, let me just bring it back here. Okay.
And let go.
Let go. Swipe the apps up and off the top of the screen.
Common mistakes
Ta-da.
people make. They don't start at the bottom enough. Enough at the bottom. Right. So you really have to come up almost from underneath the screen with your thumb and then hold your thumb there in the middle. If you don't have any apps open, that's what'll happen. You'll see this little blur
I was
thing.
like, I did something wrong.
Okay. So you need to scroll on your touch screen all the way from the bottom, almost to the middle, for you to be able to see the apps that you have. And then from there, you'll be able to navigate the applications. I think it was this one here.
So Miss Delcy, thank you. But what they are saying then is that, because I'm looking at my iPhone, so I go way to the bottom and I scroll up, but all my icons are there. What are they referring to?
Your icons, you mean like these the application icons?
Yes. When they scroll from the bottom up to the top, what happens? That's what the video does not.
Okay, I'm trying to slow down.
So take your iPhone 12, swipe up from the very bottom to the center of the screen.
Right? So when you stop your scrolling at the middle of the screen or the center of the screen, you will see your apps, your open apps, right? So once you see the open apps here, like in this example, this is open.
Okay.
For you to close it, you need to slide up the app.
Gotcha. No, I'm doing that right now. Oh yes, I got it. I I understand.
Okay.
To the middle of the page,
Right.
middle of the screen. Sorry.
Right.
Now I understand what they're saying.
So once you go to the middle, it will automatically display your apps or any apps that you have open, right?
And then,
Any, it will not show up, right? So once your apps start getting displayed like here, you can just slide up to exit or to close those.
got it. That's it. Got it. Thank you.
So
Good.
again, it's just you need to be able to scroll all the way from the bottom of your screen to get access to your application.
Thank you very much, Delcy, because that one was giving me trouble.
So you managed to work around it, Ms. Olga?
Well, I didn't do like Miss Hyde and try it live, but I'm going to try it afterwards. I don't want to get back on that Zoom. All right, thanks.
Okay, great. I'm glad this was able to assist you ladies. Okay, guys. Any questions? Any other questions before I proceed? If not, then I will just continue here with the session. Okay, guys, so we were looking at cleaning up or freeing up some storage on our device, right? And the reason why it's important for us to do this practice is eventually our storage space will run out on our devices. It will run out as it is quite limited when it comes to storage space. So I shared some tips on how to free up some space on your device, but we will kind of focus a little bit more on the different practices that you can do to help you to free up storage space, right? A lot of us sometimes tend to do this only when the device prompts us to free up space. We don't develop that habit or the practice to check up our storage space and to clean it up frequently. So that's something that we can start practicing again, because we want to ensure our device is functioning optimally. So one of the ways that we can use to do that, to optimize our storage and memory space, right? Just a little bit of background. Anything that we download on our phone, any applications that we use, any websites that we browse, the messages that we use to communicate, all of these occupy storage space. Okay, it has to be using your device's storage space for it to function. Now, when these applications or these functions happen, the phone by default, or your smartphone, your smart device, saves what it calls temporary files. And those are things that temporary files are not really closed out or deleted or removed when we close our applications, right? As I mentioned to you before, these files are in the background, which we cannot see them. So it's hard for us to really determine how to close them and remove them from our storage space. So again, temporary files accumulate in your storage memory. So we need to remove them, and also other unnecessary files. So one of the ways we can do that to optimize our storage space is to use device care. Device care in this instance is mostly, I'm pretty sure it's only available for Android devices, right? When it comes to iPhone, what I understand is that with iPhone, and even with your Android device or your Samsung phones, or if you have another brand, there are also applications that you can download that can help you with your device care. Right? So device care is a setting or an application that we can use to help us analyze our storage space. It also helps us to analyze the battery health of our device. And of course, it helps us to optimize our memory or the device's memory. So that's one way. We can automatically do that by using the device care app or setting. Or we can also manually do that by going to specific applications or settings to clean up the storage space, right? So I may be wrong, but from experience, we have noted that most of your storage space is used up by of course, the applications that you download, right? Every time we download an app, it takes us storage space. So the apps use up our space. Our audio, or if we have music downloaded on our phone, we create a playlist on our phone, it uses up space. It uses up storage space. Also our pictures and videos, that consumes a lot of our storage space as well, right? At the same time, if you have the practice of sharing files, perhaps a Word document or a PowerPoint, or Excel files, PDF files, whatever type of files, whenever we share them and we download them as well, these take up storage space, right? So those are the main consumers of our storage space. But there are other little things that take up space that we're not really aware of unless we go into detail and we investigate what other things are consuming our storage space, right? And it may not take up space, but when they accumulate, when you
No sé si te dejaron arroz,
and we
Flor,
clean
chequea.
them, they can give us a lot
Ahí
of storage
hay
availability. Okay, sorry guys. So let's look at the first method or the first way that we can use to optimize our storage space, right? And again, this is just a demonstration of how the device care setting operates and what it does when we're looking at activating the setting on our device. So let me just proceed here. Okay. So in this demo, again, we're on our settings and we're going to be looking for battery and device care, which is this one here. Okay. Now, remember, again, I'm just reminding you, the settings in this demonstration might be slightly different from your personal device, but the idea is to always look out for that specific or similar category on your settings, right? So try to look for anything that says battery, device care, storage, for you to be able to locate that on your settings. So in this case, it has it under battery and device care, which would be this setting here. So we go under battery and device care. And what it does, if you notice, it's automatically conducting an assessment or analyzing your device. And here, oh, sorry. Just go back here, okay. So what it does here, it analyzes your device. It analyzes 4 aspects of your device. And listed here, it will show it, right? It analyzes your battery, your storage, your memory, and of course, device protection. Okay. So here it does an analysis of these 4 aspects of your device. Now, upon activating this setting, you'll notice that after the analysis, it says it's 95% optimal, right? It's 95 out of 100. in this case. And it gives you a quick overview of your battery. This one has battery life for 1 day and 10 hours. Storage space, 29.4 gigabytes out of 32. And the memory as well, it gives you that, right? So let's look at the different aspects here. We're going to look at storage in this setting. And again, it goes ahead to conduct an analysis of your internal storage. So I'll pause this here. Notice that in your internal storage, it indicates to you all the aspects that are taking up your storage space. Okay? So we have from images, videos, audio files, any documents, files that we have downloaded on our phone, installation files, compressed files, applications itself, the system, other small little items, as well as our trash. Right? So these are the different items that are taking up space. And the good thing about this, what I like is that it's color coded. So at the bar here at the top, you can see how much of your storage each of these items are using up, right? So in this example, off the bat, we can see that a big chunk of our storage is used up by this greenish color item, and that belongs to our applications, right? So that's a big chunk of our storage being used by the applications that we have on our device. Followed by, of course, this blue colored item, which is our system, right? So system basically looks at, of course, our operating system, which is the brain of the phone. It has to use up some space. And every time it updates, it uses up a little bit more space as well. And of course, it has other applications and functionalities that it needs for the phone to operate, right? So when it comes to cleaning up storage, system would be something that you normally would not clean up. It's not something that we can clean up because again, these are functionalities that our phone needs to operate. So again, an analysis or an overview of the internal storage that we have. Farther down there on the screen, you can see that it gives you other items or recommendations that we can look at to clean up our internal storage. For example, it will tell you, okay, if we notice here, our trash is occupying 15.9 megabytes of space. So trash is basically that. It's unnecessary items, whether it's pictures, files that we have deleted and are still in the background, right? So from the offset, once it's in your trash, more than likely, you can afford to remove it completely from your device. So we can take a look at trash, determine if we want to clean it up, and empty up some space. It also has unused apps. Again, your phone determines, okay, these are the applications that you have not used within a certain time. And at the bottom here, it also indicates to you which are your large files. These are the files here that are taking up a chunk of your space. Right? So in the demo here, we're going to be looking at unused apps. So what it does, it gives you a list of all the applications, again, that you have not been using. And in these apps, you can find additional details. right? So in this case, it's uninstalling an application. So you can select these applications, click uninstall, and it removes it. So that in itself clears out space, right? So it's trying to give you recommendations on how to go ahead and clean up your storage right from one setting. You don't have to go and do them manually. Okay. The same thing happens with large files. So we're going to take a view on these large files here. So again, a list of all those files that are occupying a big chunk of your memory space. Now, important to note, not because you have these files listed under large files means that you have to delete them. Sometimes some of these files are necessary for you. It's something that you downloaded and are knowledgeable that you need it, right? But what it does, it just tells you, okay, please take a look at these files. And if you don't need them, go ahead and remove them to clear up space, okay? So in this example, there are two files that we've determined are not necessary and are taking up so much space. So they've been identified and deleted and removed. And we can continue with that analysis over and over again through our large files. So every time we remove or clear up storage, your phone does another analysis. It updates itself just to give you an update of how much space you have saved, how much space you have cleaned up. Okay, so here, we went back to the analysis, correct? So we can tap on each of these aspects for further details on how they are using up our storage space. Okay, so we can go on images, and this will lead us to our gallery to view the images that we have, and from there we can determine, okay, which ones we want to delete, which ones we want to keep. We're going to be looking at the apps. As I mentioned before, as you can note as well, these are taking up a big chunk of space, okay? So when we go to apps, this will lead us to a list of all the applications that we have on our phone, okay? Once we have these apps, we can select on any of these applications for details on how these specific applications are using up storage. So in this example, we chose the application Amazon Shopping. So it gives you other settings, but we're not going to look at that. We're going to be looking at these ones at the bottom here that says storage. Okay. So when we look at storage and we tap on storage, you will notice now additional details of the storage this specific application is using. Okay. Now remember, this is just one application. All the applications we have on our phone have these additional details. Okay. So taking the application Amazon Shopping, we can see here that just this application itself is taking up 180 megabits. It's a small piece of our storage, right? Then it has storage occupied by data, which is information saved. We have what we call cache, and it gives us the total storage, which is 279 MB. Now, analyzing this storage space for this one application, the only storage that is required for your application to work is this one up here. The one that has app, 180 MB. Data and cache are unnecessary storage space that your app is occupying. It's just, again, temporary files, old memory space that the application has stored, but it's not necessary. So we need to remove that. We need to clear that storage space. Right. So again, as I mentioned, just this application is occupying this space. But imagine if you have 10, 20 apps on your phone. The little space that the cache and the data is using, it accumulates. So once it accumulates, that in itself takes up more storage than it's necessary and is necessary, sorry, for your phone or your application to function the way that it should. Miss Olga, do you have a question? I see your hand is up.
Yes, yes, I do. Miss Delcy, if I am being entertained by a game, let's say Candy Crush, and if I go in, I am afraid to delete data because I thought that it's going to throw me back to like the first one. Will it do that? That's why I thought data would include whatever I have saved to be at whatever level I am at that point. I don't know if it does that.
Okay, so you're saying that, say for example, with Candy Crush, it has different levels, and if you reach to level 10, for example, and you clear data, it's going to clear up all your previous achieved level.
That's what I'm asking. So I don't really, I haven't tried it because I don't want to like be reset back to zero again and whatnot. So I thought that was what data was.
No, it doesn't do that, right? It just, data is more, well, I'm not really sure with Candy Crush. Okay.
Well, I was thinking about any other applications like that because, you know, it's like data and then the cache, as you said. But I thought data was whatever you had stored within that particular app.
Right, like if you have your, I would give some examples, right? It would be kind of like if you have your saved password, save login information. It would be different for different applications, but normally it does not remove you're not uninstalling the application. You're not deleting it, right? It's just background data that it has saved, that has accumulated. Now, I understand that a lot of people are not quite comfortable removing data because then again, sometimes we're not in the position to be testing and trying out. If that's the case, you'll notice that the cache in this example is what uses up more of your space. If you're not comfortable or you're still not confident in removing the data, you can always clean up the cache, right? This one for sure is just trash files or temporary files that the application does not need anymore.
That's what's in that data.
Right.
All right, thanks.
Yes, so if, again, as I mentioned, what I recommend is cleaning out your cache. This is what we primarily recommend users to do, right? But as I mentioned, the only thing your app needs is this space here, the app data space. So again, Miss Olga, if you notice at the bottom here, it gives you the option to choose which one you need to delete. You don't have to remove both. So you can do them either or, you can do them both. But ideally, at least the cache, clear up that one from your device. Miss Hyde, I see your hand is up.
Yes, thank you, Delcy. I'm not sure if I should ask it now or when you go to discuss the cloud.
Okay.
You know the app, you know the app Pages on the iPhone, you know Pages. Okay, iPhone has an app that is similar to Word, but it's not Word. It's their own app It's called Pages. But what happened is I've been trying to see, and I think following the previous question, I've been trying to see how I can delete some of the files. And it tells me that when I go into the various files that I have, it's in the cloud already. I didn't put it in the cloud. I don't know how it got in there, but I just want to delete. So I don't know. You see, like I just opened one just now, and I don't know how I delete that particular, the data in that particular document. I don't know, but this is Pages, and this is not what you are talking about there, but it's a similar sort of concern, no?
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
So you can identify that it's saved on the cloud. There's something that indicates that.
Well, it says, oh dear, let me go back now and see if I can, let me go back and see what I had. It said, okay, for Pages, it says iCloud Drive or on my iPhone. And when I click on iCloud Drive, all of the files come up. I want to delete some of those from the cloud, and that's, I think, my challenge. And I don't know if I think you're not get to cloud yet, not you?
No, we haven't gotten to cloud yet.
Okay.
But why is it that you want to remove it from the cloud? Because
because I no longer,
sorry?
you say the same sort of concern. Is it taking up storage? But I know it's in the cloud, so it shouldn't take up storage on the phone,
right?
Correct?
Correct. It's not taking up storage on your phone. Correction, Ms. Hyde, sorry. Let me
right. Kind of it's confusing to me right now.
Once your document or your file is on the cloud, it's not necessarily saying that it's not taking up space on your device, because it could be on our device and it could be on our cloud space.
Oh, no, I have
okay?
no
So
idea
it's
how.
occupying space on both storage areas. We want to remove it from our device. That's the idea. We want to clear up space on our phone. Right?
Okay.
Why? Because storage space on your cloud is larger than that's on your phone.
Right,
So
right.
you can afford to have more items on your cloud space than on your phone, right? So if you have a lot of space, then it's up to you if you want to clean up files on your cloud.
What is I have additional, sorry, I'm kind of going into this cloud business. I have additional storage in the cloud. I purchased that, right?
Okay.
So I have like, it's quite a large 50 something, 50. Oh, there, what is it? Is it 50 megabytes or?
No, I'm pretty sure it's gigabytes.
It's gigabytes, so true, 50.
Correct.
It's a lot. But I think my concern was in having all this data on the cloud, is it taking up space in the phone? That's really my point. That's really what I wanted to get to now. Okay. You know, it's a little bit, the cloud has always confused me, even though I have it.
Okay, I understand. Yes, we will be touching on cloud space. If not today, tomorrow, but at that point, then I can clarify how it functions and how you use it hand in hand with your device.
All right, well then, in the meantime, I'm going to see what I can explore with it. Thank you. I'll wait for when you come to it. Thank you. Thank you, Delcy.
You're welcome. Miss Olga, I think I have an update for you. I had asked one of our developers when it comes to when we clean or clear data from our game apps. Sorry. When we clear data from our apps, most of the game applications specifically have the tendency to forget any settings that you had set or any scores that you had achieved. Right, so I asked specifically for games app. So the data, clearing data would clear out your scores.
Thank you very much. I don't want to go back to zero. Thank you.
Right, so if it's something that you want to keep, then cleaning out or clearing out your cache would suffice.
Great, thank you.
Right, so yeah, I'd suggest stick to the clearing out the cache to clear out storage, right? Unless you really need storage space, then your next your to go method would be just delete any apps that you don't need. Okay, so here, back to the demo. As you notice, the cache is occupying 54 MB, okay? So in the demo, we will clear that using the option here. And now you can notice that it's using up zero storage space. And this is for every application that we have on our device. Okay, so we can go out and clean out these applications under our device care storage. Okay, any question regarding device care or the automatic method for clearing out or optimizing our storage space on an Android device? And I specify Android because, as I mentioned before, this setting is primarily just for that type of system. The iPhones are not there yet, but I do know there are applications that users can download to perform similar function. Yes, Miss Olga.
Okay, just a follow-up question to the originally what you were saying. You said you can either clear up through the device care, or you can go to the individual apps. So if I want to do like, will it be like a lump sum clearing if I do it through the device care and then I don't need to go into the individual apps?
No. With the device care, the difference with device care is that it will look at your at your photos, your videos, your apps, trash, and your documents, right? So it looks at different aspects. Your apps is just one aspect. While if you go to your applications itself, you're only going to be looking at that one aspect. It will do the same thing. It will clear out your space, but through the device care, it gives you a better understanding of your entire storage usage, not just applications. Right, so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Going through your apps will help as well. And that is what, that is manually going into your device to clean up space, right? It will do what it's supposed to do. It's just a different approach. So with iPhone users, what we want to be looking at is your storage setting, okay? And here, what I was able to get are some insight on the iPhone settings, right? And how it's a little bit different. Generally, the settings on an iPhone are not categorized the same as an Android phone, as you can see here. Okay, so their settings are a little bit different, but storage would be found under your general settings. So when you tap on general settings, you will see, similar to what the Android system had, color-coded items of what is consuming your storage space. Okay, so in this example, you can see that the photos is consuming most of the storage space on this device. The apps are consuming space as well, but not as much. Okay. It also gives you recommendations at the bottom here of similar as the Android device. What can you do to optimize your storage space? And in this case, what we can see, it will take you to your gallery because it has here optimizing photos, right? So it has to do with optimizing photos. And with optimizing pictures or photos, it basically gives you a recommendation to use a specific resolution to save your pictures, right? So in essence, the higher the resolution, the more space it takes, but the better the picture looks, right? So again, what is it that we're willing to compromise when it comes to saving storage space? It also is looking at your unused apps. Okay. Here in this case, it says save 4.2 gigabytes. Automatically offload unused apps when you're low on storage. Your documents and data will be saved. So what it does, it just puts these unused apps to the background so that it does not consume storage space. Okay. And again, it gives you an overview at the bottom here of the different applications and the space it is using. So you can go into these specific applications to get additional details of the storage space it's consuming on your device. Okay. Miss Olga, did you, or was it Miss Hyde? I see 2 hands are up.
You see that I am looking now at iPhone. I'm doing the stuff as you're going along. I'm in general iPhone storage, and I'm seeing where that same diagram with the various, the color-coded one is, I see that, but I don't see where recommendations are. I don't see anything with recommendations.
Okay, so that may be a different version of iPhone that you.
What version is this one? This
one is the X13, I think.
Oh Lord, I don't have the 13, my dear. I have the 11. And so,
but the settings shouldn't be that different. What do you see under your settings? If you tap storage,
I am on the same page, and I am seeing the color-coded diagram, and then it goes straight to the apps. It doesn't say, and I like that one, recommendations. It doesn't have anything about optimized photos. And optimized photos, and it doesn't have anything about offload unused apps. Go straight to the app. So you're telling me I need to upgrade the phone? Which I can ill afford to do.
I would hope not, but
I don't think so.
If it doesn't give you the recommended or the recommendations as stated here, you can always go into your I think it would be the camera settings to add.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but interestingly enough, I have saved my photos in the cloud. The biggest allocation of space on my phone goes to the apps.
Okay.
I have a lot of apps.
Okay.
And I don't know how to optimize. I think that's the point, optimize, because some of the apps come with the iPhone. I don't think I can take those off, can I? I don't think so. The ones that come with the iPhone.
Or remove them?
Which one I could do? Delete them or remove? Which one? Because for instance, Pages is one of, no, Pages isn't one of theirs. This thing is something else. Okay, for instance, FaceTime, they come with FaceTime, calendar, photos, camera, that sort of thing. And then it goes into the apps that I have put on.
Right.
You see? I have a lot
When
of
it comes
apps.
to applications, and I think the same applies to the devices that we all have.
Right,
When we purchase a phone or when we get a phone, these come with pre-installed applications.
correct,
Most likely
correct.
will be applications that they would recommend, or it's the same company develops.
Mhm.
It
Right,
doesn't mean that we need to use them. Unfortunately, because of the functionality of the phone, we
Mhm.
are not given the ability to delete or uninstall these applications, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But at the same time, and you can confirm this, if you have
Mhm.
tried, you can also disable or stop an application from operating
Yes.
background.
Mhm.
So it's just the shell that's there. It's there if you want to use it, but it's not using up space or creating
Okay, okay.
files in the background.
Right, right.
Right,
Well,
so-
there are, yeah, I'm kind of looking at, oh, what you mentioned just now is true. What you said just now about the shell, the face is there, but not the actual,
Not the
what you
application itself is not functional unless you
ah,
turn it on.
okay. Uh-huh. I
It's
I
there
understand what
because
you're saying.
we cannot delete it, but it's there.
Uh-huh,
However, it's not
uh-huh.
occupying that much space in terms of saving data, saving files. It's
Right, right.
fully functional as would be the other applications.
Okay, okay. Well, I think I use most of the apps, but there are a couple that I find that I am not using, but they are the ones that come with the phone for
Okay,
the most part.
those phones will come with a lot of different applications, and you don't need to use all of them. Right? They're just
Mhm.
there because it's part of the package,
Yeah.
but you can
Mm.
put them in the background by disabling them or stopping them if you want to put it that way. And since you're at that, let me just see if we have the.
So, sorry, Delcy. So I'm looking
Right.
at one right now. There is one that they have called Clips. I didn't know what Clips is anyway. And I'm trying. Then I pressed it down so that the little thing comes up, and I said it says remove clips. Then it gives me
Okay.
3 options: delete the app, remove from the home screen, or cancel. So if I delete the app,
It deletes it. It removes it.
right, right. And what about remove from home screen? What is that?
Remove from home screen, it means it's just removing it from your immediate view.
Right.
It does not delete it from your phone. It just deletes it from that space that you call home screen,
Oh,
right? It's still available
because
in apps.
it says here, okay, removing from the, oh, I just saw this. Removing from the home screen will keep the app in your app library.
Correct.
Okay.
It's in your.
I got you. Okay, then good.
Mhm.
So a lot of the, yeah. So what you mean? Well, my phone is not the latest one because that's you're saying that's the iPhone 13.
The X13.
What the heck am I gonna do with that?
I'm not sure which one's the latest version, however.
The latest version is a 13 something.
Is it 13, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to
Check to
12 yet,
update.
much less 13.
I don't think you need to upgrade to 13.
I have no intention of doing that, right?
Okay.
Maybe this all, but I have no intention of doing that. Yeah, okay then. So I understand what you're saying now. I got you.
Okay.
Thanks. All right.
You're welcome, Miss Hyde. What I have here, guys, is similar to what Miss Hyde was walking me through. Let me see if I can put this one up here. Clearing up space in your Play Store, which is exactly what she was talking about, right? Deleting our apps or uninstalling them, or basically just stopping them from taking up unnecessary space. So how do we go ahead and do that? Again, this is manually going into our app library or our app store to remove these applications that we no longer need or we want to uninstall, right? So one of the ways that we can do that is, of course, deleting them from our home screen, but also is going through the application store, the app store, or in this case, a Play Store. So let me just quickly go here, and you will notice the Play Store is something familiar we've been through. Okay, sorry. So here, we're going to look for the application that we want to delete, right? So in this case, it will be the Adidas running application. So to do that, you just hard tap on the application, right? It's not just single tap. You press on it until, you press on it until the options pop up at the top here. So we'll tap on Adidas and you will see the options at the top there, right? So what we're looking for is the uninstall. So this in itself will remove the application from our apps list. So we will select uninstall, and then it asks you just to verify if we want to uninstall the app. We click OK, and you will notice it is going to be removed from our screen. And that is one way of removing or deleting applications on our device. The other way is to go directly to the Play Store, or directly to the settings, and we're going to be looking at our apps setting. And this is what will give you access again to your entire apps list, all the applications list. In here as well is where you will see the additional details when it comes to storage usage of your device, which is this one here. Okay, so there in itself, it gives you the option to uninstall as well. Or to, let me just bring it back here a little bit. Pause it here. Notice at the bottom here, it gives you the option to uninstall and to also force stop. Right, this is what I was referring to when it comes to stopping a device from functioning in the background. So we can either uninstall an application or force stop. Now, not all applications will give you the option to uninstall. Again, it's because these companies that create the phones or build the phones want to promote their products. So they want to promote their applications, disabling the ability for you to delete the application, right? But nonetheless, we can always stop the application if that's the only option that it provides to us. Okay. So in this case, it's we will uninstall this application, and that again ensures that this is removed from our storage space. Okay. So this is manually going into our applications to delete or uninstall any application that we no longer need and we would like to remove from our phone. Okay. Any questions, guys, as it relates that relates to clearing up space, cleaning out storage on our devices? Some additional, a couple of other ways that you can clear up storage, of course. Amazon. I think Mr. I'm not sure if it's Mr. Ramos had shared it. But it was using an SD card, which is a secondary device or secondary memory device, so that you don't use up your phone memory, right? It saves it at another location. So you can always do that, or you can actually remove the files that you have. And if you have a computer, you know, a computer has way much more space than your phone. So you can always remove those files and put it on your computer, or you can use what we were speaking about earlier. Oh, it was Mr. Neil. Yes, Mr. Neil was speaking about the SD cards. Or we can put it on a cloud service, right? We can use a cloud service. So with that said, let's jump into cloud service, right? What is a cloud service? We can take it as it being a separate storage space, a space where we can save things online, right? It's called a virtual space. It's not physical. It's just saved online. So the benefit of that is it gives us, we're able to access whatever files we have on the cloud, whether it's pictures, files, once we have internet access, right? It doesn't have to be through your same phone. It doesn't have to be through your same computer. As long as you have internet access, you can get, or you can retrieve those files, right? And since we're speaking about storage and maximizing or optimizing your storage space, the cloud storage space or a cloud service is one of the more recommended alternative storage space for your files, right? And why? Because as I shared with you guys yesterday, once you have a Google account, you automatically get an amount of space on your Google Drive, right? So Google Drive is what is your cloud storage space, okay? And that is free of cost. The question was, bless you, Mr. Rodney. The question was posed yesterday.
Thank you.
The question was posed yesterday whether it was a free service. It is a free service. And the same thing with iPhone or Apple users. They have what they call the iCloud. That is their cloud storage space or cloud space. So that comes again with an amount of storage space for free. And as Ms. Hyde mentioned, if you want additional space, of course, we need to purchase that. But it's quite affordable, if I can say that. Purchasing additional cloud space is a little bit more affordable than what it was before. And why using cloud space as an alternative storage space is because once it's on the cloud, the only way we can get rid of the images or the files is if we either delete them, right? It's not, as opposed to saving files and images on your phone. If you lose your phone, you lose all of those files and those images as well, right? But whilst if we have those things on the cloud, then we can lose our phone. We get another one and we just enter our login information and we get access to all of those things again, right? But that's not automatic, unfortunately. That is not automatic. We have to be able to enable our backup setting on our device, okay? So this is where backups come into play. for security purposes as well as for retention of our files, images, and of course, for optimization of our storage space as well. Basically, creating a backup is replicating your phone's data, whether it's the app information, your messages, your contact information, and of course, your media. It's creating a backup of that. And why is it important? As stated here, there's a possibility that you can lose your device, right? You either drop it on water. The fact is we cannot access our items. But with backup, you can recover this data by logging into your backup account. So again, I am assuming all of you have a Google account or an iCloud account. Like the fact that you were able to log into Zoom means that you have an email account, correct? Okay, so what I want to look at here is specifically, again, this is an example, how do we back up to a Google account? Your device in the settings, again, will have this setting for backup. The category might be different, but it has to be related to backup settings. Okay, so that is where we will look at for us to, at least we can go in there in our settings and verify if our backup has been activated. And if not, then we can go ahead and activate our backup. So for all of us that have a Gmail, as I mentioned, we have Google Drive. So that is our cloud space. Anything that we save on the cloud, we go to Google Drive. So with Android users, of course, we need to be able to log in with our Google account, our username and our password. Once we have access to that, we can back up our phone settings. We can back up our contacts if we have saved passwords using Google Chrome. And of course, we can also sync photos and videos. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but when I had just started using cell phones, and I would save my contacts on my device, that would be saved on the storage. But when I had to change phones or had to switch phones, I could not sync my contacts from the old phone to the new phone. So I would have to enter back the contacts or literally write them down on a notebook. And then when I get the new phone, I would enter them back again. Okay, so long gone are those days. We can sync our contacts by just ensuring that we back them up to our Google account. Changing devices is quite efficient and easy right now. But nonetheless, guys, let's look at how we activate our backup for our phone devices. So remember again, we will always go to our settings.
It's time to show you how to back up your Android device to a cloud service. So again, I will be using my device to show you how to go ahead and confirm that your device has been set up to back up. Normally, when you get your new phone, your new Android device, you are required to sign in with your primary Google account, if you have one, right? Because Android, that's a product that's a Google product then. Okay, so that's why it is linked to a Google account. It asks you to enter your Google account primarily because it will then tie every activity that you do on your device to that Google account. And that includes downloading applications from your Play Store, making payments, for example, accessing your email, accessing even YouTube or Google Chrome. So all of these activities can be linked to your primary Google account. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, we want to verify that our backup settings have been turned on our device. To do so, I will take you into the settings of the device, and we will look for accounts and backup. Anything related to accounts and backup. Okay? So here it has it as accounts and backup. So I will tap on accounts and backup, and I will go to backup and restore. These are the settings that I need to confirm. You will notice here that we are provided with a Samsung account backup and restore settings. This is specifically for Samsung users. Now remember, when we are talking about Android devices are not limited to only the brand Samsung. There are other smartphones that are recognized as Android devices, and some of these brands would include Windows, it would include HP, LG, just to name a few. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend using a Samsung account backup if you are not sure that you will be sticking to using only Samsung devices. Okay, I would definitely recommend, however, using a Google account backup and restore services, because with a Google account you can access any other Android device and enter your Google account to restore your data. So we will be looking at the Google account settings. First of all, we need to ensure that backup my data is turned on. Okay, we need to ensure that backup my data is turned on. So if I tap here, you will see the on button is turned on. So that has to be turned on. Also, we need to ensure that we have a backup account. This is very important because, as I mentioned, when we are just starting to work with our new phone, we enter our Google account, right? So we need to ensure that that's the same account that we are using to back up our data. Also, we want to ensure that automatic restore is also turned on. So automatic restore, basically what it does is that if for some reason we deleted an application and we have to reinstall it on our device, whatever settings or whatever information we had on that application will also be restored whenever we install the application again. Okay, so just ensure that automatic restore is turned on. So once we have these primary settings set up, let's look at Google account. Okay, so I will tap here on Google account, and this is going to give us our backup settings to our Google account. The first one we have here is the backing up to Google Drive. So we want to have that turned on. Okay, and the second one is again just confirming the backup account, which is to, at this point, it's backing up to my Gmail account. And then what you will also see is the name of your device. So in this example, my phone is identified as SM830-5G. Okay, so that means it is backing up my device. And if you notice here, it will say it will identify at what time was the last backup. So here, my last backup was at 7:20 a.m. If for some reason your last backup is perhaps 2 days ago, we can force a backup by tapping on backup now. So what that does is it will sync it immediately. It is also important for us to look at photos and videos. Here it gives you the option to turn on the Google Photos backup. Mine at this point is turned off, so I want to turn it on. I will tap on Google Photos and turn on the backup and sync. Okay, so what this does, it will automatically sync my gallery to my Google Photos. It will create a copy of all the pictures that are on my phone, that are saved on my phone, and it will save it on the cloud. Okay. At the bottom, we can see which folders will be backed up to the cloud. So any images that are obtained from our Facebook, from our WhatsApp, from our wallpaper, all of these images and videos will be backed up to the cloud. Okay. So we go back to backup and sync. And we have ensured that we are using Google Photos to back up our photos and videos. Important as well is the last setting here where we identify when to back up. Okay? So my setting has the use Wi-Fi only turned on. What that means is that it will back up only when I am on a Wi-Fi network. If I turn this off, it can back up as long as it has data on the phone. So sometimes it can be using our credit to back up data. And we don't want that, right? We would just want to ensure that it backs up whenever we have Wi-Fi, because backing up itself uses a lot of data. So we want to ensure that this is turned on. And there you go. We have already ensured that our backup settings have been configured on our device. It's time to show you how to back up.
Sorry, guys. Okay, just to recap again, what the most important things that we need to ensure when we are creating a backup of our device, right? Important, we first have to have an account, okay? Whether it's on iCloud or using our Google account, we first have to have an account and set up that account for our backup. Okay. The second item is, or the second point is identifying what we want to back up from our device. Okay. So we had from pictures, we had contacts, and of course the applications that we are using on our device. Now, it also asks, of course, at what point we're going to back up, not on at what point, sorry, what we're going to use to back up our data. Because when it backs up, it's going to use a lot of data or a lot of bandwidth. We recommend to always select backup on Wi-Fi only, right? Because your devices more than likely don't have a set time when it will back up. So you don't want it to accidentally use up your purchased data, okay? Because it could consume it without you even knowing that it was consuming it. Okay, so let me just again quickly share here for our iPhone users, more or less how the backup settings will look like on your iPhone, right? For them, it already identifies the cloud service, so they would normally go to their iCloud settings. And in there, it will identify a setting for backup, okay? Again, as I mentioned, guys, in none of the devices, it is automatic. We need to set up, or we need to turn on the backup feature on our devices. We cannot assume that it's doing it. So we need to ensure that it will do it for us from now on. And again, just to recap why it's important for us to back up. Well, we want to have a backup of all the items we have on our phone. We don't know at what point we're going to lose our phone. So we want to have a copy of whatever it is we had on our phone. And two, well, since we have a copy of what's on our phone, we can actually clear out storage from our phone and have a copy saved on the cloud. Okay, so when we were looking at backing up of photos on the cloud, what that allows us to do is going back to our phone memory, deleting all those videos and photos, because we already have a copy of those on our backup on the cloud, whether it's iCloud service or your Google Drive, right? So it gives you that surety that you still have your pictures and your videos available somewhere else, okay? Any question regarding backup of your device, guys? Any clarifications, any doubts that you have for me relating to backups? So what I want you guys to do is, if you can, today, tonight, sometime soon, verify if you have your backup solution or your backup feature turned on. Okay, if not, proceed to do that. I'm pretty sure you all have an available cloud solution that you can use to back up your information. Ms. Pa, I see your hand is up. Do you have a question?
Yes, just one.
Okay.
Backup and syncing is the same or no? Is it the same?
Yes, it's the same.
Okay, because on my screen, it's reporting me tab sync. Sometimes I tab, sometimes not.
So sync means it will have the same thing that your phone has. It will have the same thing as, your cloud service will have the same thing that your phone has. It has created a copy already.
Okay, okay.
That
Only
is-
that.
Only
ma'am.
that. Okay, bye.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Rodney?
Yes, Ms. Ko, thank you very much. Sorry that I came on a bit late, no, but I had something else, an appointment otherwise. Just a question on the backup and sync, right? I am using an Android phone, and when I went to the page backup and sync, and I looked at my account and storage, it said 82% full, right? And it gave me the option of buying 100 gigabytes or manage storage. And then when I went to storage, it gave me an option to review and delete blurry photos, large photos, and videos. The thing with this is that I'd really want to do that, but I don't want to click on blurry photos and not know what I'm actually deleting. You know, if I click on that, that means that it gets deleted right away, right?
No,
No?
what it does, it does what it what it does, it gives you a quick analysis of the status of your images. So
Mhm.
device, it's a smart device, so it has identified blurry photos. More
Right.
likely thinking, why would Mr. Rodney want to keep blurry photos?
Right.
It also, if I'm not mistaken, identifies duplicate images,
Large photos and videos.
large photos and videos. So it just prompts you to look at these priority areas. So you
Mhm.
select on those and it will tell you which pictures it has identified as blurry, as large
Right.
photos. And then there you can manually select which ones you want to delete.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
delete it
Yeah.
automatically. You would have to.
Yeah.
And even so, once you delete it, there's always a folder called trash.
Mm-hmm.
The event you accidentally deleted, you can always go back to your trash folder to retrieve it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Uh-huh.
Speaking about trash though, deleting a photo does not mean it cleans up your storage. To clean up the storage, you would have to remove it from the trash.
From the trash.
Right,
Yeah.
because it still saves it there for a while.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So, Mr. Rodney, you have your backup set up. That's very good. For you all that have done that, that's really good. I mean, you're way advanced than some other people that are not really aware of this functionality that is available and for free.
Well, Miss Co, I didn't set it up. Somebody did it for me. I don't know who, but somebody did it for me. So
that's good. If
I'm
it's
good.
something that you can ask for help with, as long as we go in there and we see that it's backed up, then that's again a surety that our information is duplicated and it's available somewhere else. Any other question, guys? We're almost to the end of our session today. Okay. If that's about it, guys, we will end today's session with this. Tomorrow, tomorrow is the last day. Go on. Sorry, Miss Hyde, I see your hand is up. Go ahead.
It's okay, Del. So when you finish, when you conclude, I had a question to ask about another subject that you had dealt with earlier. Just wanted to clarify, but just finish off and then I could ask the question if that is okay. Thank you.
Okay, if you prefer that, no problem. Yes, as I was sharing with you guys, we will just look at the final part of the module tomorrow, which looks at some features that we can use when it comes to using YouTube or any other video applications, and a couple additional tips to maximize the use of our WhatsApp application, right? That's a common application that most of us are using. So there are additional couple tips that I want to share with you. And to finalize the session tomorrow, I have an activity. Basically, it's more of a recap activity. So kind of juggle your memory and your critical thinking as it relates to the different content that we covered for the past 3 modules, or past 2 modules and the last 2 days. Okay, so again, guys, tomorrow is the last day. The beginning part of the session, we'll just look at some content, and most of it will be the activity. Okay, Miss Hyde, go ahead.
Thanks, Delcy. This is a quick question. I wanted to go back to the whole matter of the Face ID or passcode. In your view, because I remember somebody said that when you do a facial ID, if your face is covered up or something, then the facial ID wouldn't work. The Face ID wouldn't work. in today's environment where we're all wearing masks, if I have in my Face ID, I have to take off my mask and do the Face ID. So do you think that the passcode is as secure as the Face ID?
Right.
No.
Recap different security settings. If you recall, there were different levels in terms of the level of security, right? Passcode was
Right.
between medium to high.
Okay.
The biometrics, whether it's your fingerprint, your facial recognition, your eye recognition, those are the most secure methods because you either have it or you don't, right? It's either
Yes, yes.
face or it's not. There's no really an in between there. So yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, if you do it, you need to register your facial recognition at the beginning, right? That's how you start.
Correct.
So
Yes.
I know some would require, if you use glasses, make sure you have on your glasses on. If there's any specific device that you need to have, it has to have it when it registers, right? So
Right.
it may be a little bit inconvenient if you have to remove your glasses, mask, but yes, biometric
So
is the most secure method.
So you're saying that, wow, that cuts both ways, because if I'm in the house, I'm not wearing the mask. If I did the Face ID with the mask, I have to, I have to put on a mask, and vice versa outside, right? And I think that's my quandary. Right, I took it up, actually, it happened this morning to me. It happened this morning to me outside where I didn't have on the mask in the yard. The phone rang and I had to go get a mask and put it on before I could answer the phone. And that's the quandary. So I thought to myself, I should just basically go back to the passcode, where you have to be doing this thing.
Or you can redo the facial recognition where you just scan it without the mask. So in the event you have your mask, you can just remove it, scan your face, and put it back on.
Yeah, either way it's kind of inconvenient as far as I would see. It's rather, I mean, either way, it's 6 of one and a half dozen of the other, I suppose. So
right.
I put back on the face code when that happened this morning. But I know that the biometric ID is the best.
The most secure.
I just have to, I have to work it out in my mind which one I'm going to do.
Right.
Because if I'm traveling, I want to go on the phone, then I have to take off the mask and do the Face ID then while I'm traveling, you see, and that's another issue that is of concern. Anyway, I'll work it out, but I take your point. I do take your point. Right? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really sure about the iPhone security, but I know with other devices, it gives you the alternative to use more than one security, more than lock type.
I don't think the iPhone does that, because I'm looking now on the page. It's either you I don't know. It seems to me that it's either the Face ID or the passcode. I don't see where it gives you the option to have.
How about the fingerprint? Does it allow you to unlock?
No, these don't have these don't have the button at the bottom to do the fingerprint. No, it's just a Face ID.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So, all right, I just have to decide which one I'm going to do and then do it. But I do take your point. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sure, no problem inside. Okay, guys, well, that brings us to the end of today's session. Again, thank you very much for your participation, for taking up the time to, of course, learn something new. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow again, same place, same time, and be safe and keep warm. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. I miss school.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.